I think that's my knowledge.
Well done. Any more for any more? Is it my turn again? Okay. Well, you got the drift, Dr. Stevens, Castle and what I said to Ian White and Brenda. Next time you come back to us, could you cover the metrics, please? And I think we'll need to set up whether it's January, February or March, but I think I'm just very interested in how greater detail on the performance range and what you're doing, how you're doing it, how well you're doing it. Because it will help us know, and as I've just been said, I think the actual place of that data will ultimately every child matters, but I think it would be helpful for us to see it for certainly this time. Fantastic.
If I just show you, we've instituted the local Safeguarding Children's Board in a previous administration had never received anything but end-of-year data. What we have insisted upon, from my monitoring point of view, from Paul's point of view, from the lead members' point of view, is a monthly report on key indicators which also have a management view put with them. And at the front, there's a red, amber, green rating on those, but the story behind them is also included. So, for instance, this is really useful management information. And I said to the chairman before the meeting, there are still some issues with this, but people saying to me, oh, the data's not good enough. I said, get it out there. Because by the time you get it out there, you show it to team managers, and if they don't think it's right, they'll pretty soon do something about getting it right amongst teams. It is itself a catalyst. And that's actually the point of performance data. As well as just saying how well did you do, it's about doing better for the future. We've insisted now that this come on a monthly basis and will be monitored and reported on, including the management responses, which tell you again something about where those particular managers are coming from in their perspective and how close we are to getting that child's eye view of the world, which is what we're desperate to achieve. The other thing is, if you put them together in one report, you can put one against the other and say, hang on, we're doing really well on core assessments. I'm not saying we are, but we're doing really well on core assessments. Something's going wrong with some of these initial assessments. Actually, usually it's the other way around. You do less well on initial assessments, and often it's because practitioners make a meal out of it. It's basic information and simple judgments, but you get social workers saying, oh, tied up with administration. Stop doing it. Do it much more basically. But actually, sometimes some people quite like getting lost in the form filling, despite the fact they like also to moan about it. They like getting lost in it because it's preferable sometimes doing it. And Paul has instituted a 70-30 rule. Because there is some administration and audit that you have to do. Let's say practice. But 70-30, 70% of your time should be on clear practice, 30% on recording it, not the other way around.
Can I just come back on that? Because what you just said rang true with one group of officers in children's services who will be nameless when we were having our wonderful day. They were far too busy to take part. And actually, the lead officer didn't work on Wednesday and was Friday we had a day.
I'm interested to hear you touch on administration, because of course you and I behind the scenes have had discussions about administration, and you very kindly promised that you would report back to overview and scrutiny January, February, March, whenever we actually decided to do it on issues of administration, and I think that's very, very important. Part of the discussions we had was touching upon the audit and investigation side, just making sure that your own department runs appropriately. You and I took those discussions further, and wondered whether it would be possible to let the members alongside those in the department who are going around to test and verify that, for example, filing's been done properly or whatever other tasks. Do you still, I mean, I know you and I thought it was a good idea, Friday afternoon you mentioned it, do you still think it's a good idea?
I think it's an excellent idea, and I'll tell you why. Even the best of us who keep challenging our own thinking and our own practice, we become blind to things. We become blind to the things that are around us. It becomes part of what we live and breathe. There's nothing like somebody who doesn't have that professional background coming in and saying, what are you doing that for? And you think, those guys are doing it. Or you defend it. And you think, why am I defending it? It's rubbish. But it takes somebody to come and say, it's almost the emperor's new clothes, and it's a healthy dose of common sense. For me, it will skill up members in terms of knowing some of the internal workings, but it will equally give us all a fresh and clearer perspective of some things that perhaps we've just taken for granted and start to live with. It's what I call the pinky piece of tinsel in the corner. When I used to inspect schools, I would often go in the middle of, say, May or June, and I'd look for a piece of tinsel in the corner that the school had become blind to, because it's there. But actually, you walk in and you think, what have they got tinsel for in the middle of June? Because you bring a fresh perspective, and that's what we need. We need people who will challenge us on the things to which we've become blind, by hanging, looking a bit messy, causing us to not look efficient and not be efficient. And I think it'd be a great idea.
Again, could I suggest that obviously this needs to be worked up a bit more fleshed out, so we could potentially suggest that we actually go for a board of visitors type model and look at every council department. Maybe that's a step too far tonight. But what I argue from this, well, actually do think we're going to do for children's services. There's a compelling case that we do it for everything, including down the same legal department. But, I'm not only singling you out because you're there. but there will be some margin to doing it. Now, in terms of preparing this, I mean, I think it makes sense that you have a sort of stand in relation to how this is prepared. Maybe the same also goes for adult services as well. Could you come back in the sort of January, February, March timeframe we've been talking about ideas as to how it could be done, what sort of training you think members would require to do it? And I don't mind at all when you come back and say you think it should be every child matters panel that looks at children's services, the health panels, and adult social care. I don't mind whether you say actually no, it should be a complete mixture. I just leave it to you to think about it. Like I mentioned to the two panel chairs here, if you guys want to think of some ideas and suggest them before January, February, March, please do, because I'd love to hear. Because I think from our standpoint, the conversation that John and I had was, oh my goodness, have we just thought of something that's completely innovative that nobody's tried before? And we're going to get it wrong to some extent, but hey, I think we should try it and see what emerges.